Hey guys, this is Jakob. I'm content manager and I'm helping small and medium enterprises with their content strategy. In my podcast, Content Marketing Mastery, I'm interviewing people who create great content. And today we have a special topic. We are going to speak about social selling. So what is important when you create your content on social media in order to create your products, in order to sell your products and your service? That's a very important topic. And I'm very glad to have a real expert on this topic. His name is John Lawson. Welcome, John. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Welcome to my show. I really appreciate your time and I'm happy that you're in my show.
Me too. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So first of all, can you introduce yourself in a nutshell? So who are you and what's your passion?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So who I am. Okay. So, I started a business back in 2001. So you're talking about what? It'll be 20 years.
Almost 20 years. Wow.
Yeah. 20 years ago, um, I was about to go bankrupt doing something else. I was, somebody had told me like, we could flip a house, what a flipping a house, and you're going to fix it all up. You buy it in a bad neighborhood and then you walk away with big bucks. Well, that didn't happen to me. I ended up with a second mortgage in a house I couldn't sell. So I was about to go bankrupt to get out from under that debt. And I mentioned what was going on in my life to a friend of mine. And he was like, well, why don't you start selling stuff on eBay or something? And I was like, eBay? Okay,
What's
maybe I'll
that?
try that. But long story short, I did that. I ended up starting a business. I left my job. And over these years, we've sold deca millions of dollars online.
Wow.
So that's kind of crazy when I think about it, but that's how I got started. So that's me. But somewhere in there, probably about 10 years ago, somebody told me, why don't you start teaching? They asked me to come do a speech. And so for the last 10 years, I've also created a coaching, teaching type persona, thought leader, author, those kind of things. So that's been my last 10 years. So it's been a fun run.
That sounds great. So how to monetize your knowledge in order to help other people and also have also earn money with your knowledge. That's basically what you did, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. That's cool. So yeah. So when it comes to this topic of social selling, so there are many definitions. What is your definition of social selling?
Well, see, here's the thing. People get 3 words or 4 words they think they're all the same thing. So you've got social media, social networking, social marketing.
Social dilemma.
Right, exactly. And social selling or social commerce, which I like to call it, right? But the thing is, they use those words interchangeably, and they're not. If you take off the thing that's common on all of them, you just take off social, then you get left with the media, networking, marketing, and selling. And those things are completely different things. Social is just the platform that we use. Selling is just selling, right? So social selling is a technology twist on an old school theme, right? Sales have always been social. I don't know anywhere. Well, maybe if you walk up to a machine and you buy a Coke out of the machine, that's about the only time I think it's not social. Anytime somebody's on the other end of that transaction, it's a social interaction. So social selling is all about, leveraging your social interaction for transaction. Make sense?
Absolutely. So because we are not, because quote unquote, I don't have a business or I don't know how to make business. Business means just an interaction between two people, because people are making business with people. That's basically what is the most important thing about selling. So I think I don't know your experience, but I have many conversations where people are very scared from selling. So what do you suggest to entrepreneurs who think of selling not as a good thing? Maybe they are scared. What lessons do you give these people?
Well, if you're scared of selling, you should be more scared of going hungry and being broke.
Okay, makes sense.
Right?
Makes sense.
So that'll help you get over selling first, because if you are broke and destitute and have no food, I guarantee you're going to sell something or you're going to beg for something, right? So you
Yes.
want to avoid that. So learn to sell, because the first thing you got to think about is, what's the source of your fear? Why do you fear selling? Not saying you when I say that, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
in general. Yeah.
listening, figure out what the source of that is, and figure out how to deal with it. Then shift your perspective, okay? Because I had a problem getting on stage and asking for money, right? I had that problem. And then, I had this paradigm shift, because it was like I would get off stage and didn't make an offer, right? And then
Yeah.
people would ask me, follow me, and they're like, "Oh, John, that was great. How can you help me? I need this? This is so good." And I was like, okay, well, I'm leaving people hanging by not having an offer. It's like all of a sudden I couldn't help those people because I didn't make sure that I had an offer to help the people. And
Yes.
that's when you're talking about, just regular, when you're selling information or what you know. So that's one way. But I mean, even if you've got a product that can save someone's life, that can make them look better, make them feel better about themselves, why won't you help those people? See, that's a paradigm shift. I have to tell you about my product, or I'm not helping you. So it's not selling, it's helping, right?
Yes.
But that's totally a paradigm shift. And then once you get in there, just do it. Just get out there and let somebody slam a door in your face. Who cares? You will recognize after that happens, when the first person tells you no, you'll realize, oh my God, life didn't end for me right there. And most of the times we're not afraid to sell. We're afraid of people not buying or telling us they're not interested, or you're full of crap. Who cares what they think? Move on to the next one. The world's full of people that need what you have. So if that person doesn't want it, just move on to the next.
Yes, exactly. So I think there are many things that you said that people block within their mind. So one is criticism, one is getting a no, or looking dumb or stupid, things like that. And yeah, I think this is very powerful. So what I also ask oftentimes is, why is it your duty to sell your product or your service? Because
so
you're
children can eat. It's like,
so it's your duty to do it, to sell it, because you're changing the life of a person, of one person, and this leads also to changes within their family and his husband or her wife or whatever. And this is something that you have to have always in mind when you sell.
Yep.
That's cool.
Absolutely, man. Oh, another thing is too, once you get out there and you're starting to get people that are buying from you and saying yes, start, taking ownership of your success and your achievements. Because if you do that, you can look back and say, oh, well, you can encourage your own self by your own success if you keep track of what you're doing in your sales.
Yes, definitely. Cool. So what are some of the mistakes that entrepreneurs make when it comes to this topic of social selling? So what are the mistakes that they make oftentimes that you see?
Okay, so the biggest mistake you can make socially, all right?
Yeah.
We're talking about social here. The sale part we'll touch, but the biggest thing you can screw up is the trust factor. If people are already trusting you,
Yeah.
you don't want to jeopardize their trust. Trust in social selling is the holy grail. That's the one thing. Once you establish the trust, never break it.
Hmm.
Okay? And sometimes you can destroy the trust by just making a bad offer, right? It's like, I bought something from you, I trusted you, and then all of a sudden you threw something into the mix that wasn't even related to our relationship. And suddenly I don't trust you. People do that with their emails all the time. They'll, instead of segmenting their list, they just send everything out to everybody. And they end up breaking the trust of people that have already purchased from you. You should talk to people that have already purchased from you completely different than somebody
Yes.
that's brand new that you're trying to make aware of a product.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. And when it comes to trust building, is it something that you, I mean, yes, it's obvious you do it through content that you create, but do you have a special structure, or when you think about trust in social, do you have strategy?
I got a strategy for that goes all the way through the selling, and trust is a part of that. All
Okay,
right.
cool.
So, I mean, you think about the old school sales funnel, right? So at the top, you have awareness, the next level's interest, consideration, preference, then they make the purchase, right? And
Yes.
while in the midst of the purchase, you have the opportunity to do upselling and cross-selling. All right. Upselling, of course, is offering something. You bought one of it. Well, maybe you want three. If you buy three, you get one free. That's an upsell. A cross-sell is people that bought this also bought that. All right. And then after that, that's when you build on the loyalty. I mean, now, yes, you can build, I don't think you can really, yeah, you can build loyalty with your content, but my content really is not there to build loyalty. It's there to build trust in my expertise.
Okay.
Right?
That's cool.
So after you purchase, we move from building the trust in my expertise to trust in the loyalty that you already have with the experience. All right. So that's kind of my buyer journey.
Okay, and you're creating mostly posting lines for Facebook, and or do you also create video material? What is your
I do it all. I do it all.
Oh.
But you don't have to do all that much. I mean, you pick and choose, and you get expert at that, and you can get a lot of people, right? So I know people that only blog, and they've got such huge lists and such huge engagement, and people trust their word, and that's a blogger, right? Or you've got a video influencer, somebody that does the same thing sort of that a blogger does, but they do it with the video. That's them on, Instagram or YouTube, right? And then, of course, you've got people like me. I kind of do a little bit of everything. I like the medium for, that Facebook has afforded me, because I can post whatever I want at the time. And I might be a little old school. Facebook was my first, you know what I mean? But pick a channel, pick a lane, and stick to it. More than anything, it's showing up that people want, right?
Yeah.
If they can determine that you're going to show up on a specific date, specific time, they're going to start showing up on that specific date and time. So you train your audience.
Yes. So I think this is also very important, because many people say they see a video and they say, well, I'm not good in front of camera. I just don't want to be on camera. And I think this is very valuable, that you don't have to do it. So you can be, it's totally fine to improve your copy skills and become good at copy, and do it through blog posts or blog article or social media posting lines. That's, I think, very important.
And you can repurpose. All right.
Yeah,
maybe you don't want to be on screen, but you can put some, words on slides and let the slides play through, and you just talk to the slides, and you're never on the screen at all.
Yeah, screen share. So you're sharing your screen, and the people are hearing your voice, for example. You don't have to do it in front of a camera. Yes.
Yep.
That's,
And if you
that's
don't
right.
like your voice, you can hire a voice actor on Fiverr and they'll do it for you.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
the slides, they'll read them for you. So that should not be an excuse. I think people get stuck on this we're in this cult of personality thing. That's what social has done for a lot of people, And so when you talk about social, all they think about is, I've got to be the personality. I've got to be the face of the brand. No, you don't. No, you don't. That is a misnomer that these social people are teaching, but they're wrong. Okay. They're absolutely wrong. You don't have to be the face. Now, that doesn't mean somebody doesn't have to be the face. Maybe somebody does, depending on your product, but it doesn't
Yes.
have to necessarily be you.
Mhm.
It
Okay.
can be a fictitious character,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like it. So, I mean, you mentioned this, you said this already. You're a thought leader, so you're producing content and you're offering your expertise, and one step that is very important is to monetize your knowledge. So to build, because many people are very good in their niche, but they are not very good as a business person. So the business skills, the business models are lacking. And what lessons can you give to people who are starting out and who want to monetize their knowledge?
Okay. So, I mean, that's a great question. I've been speaking, like I said, for years now. And the one thing I have noticed that there are a lot of speakers that are not good business people.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of broke speakers on large stages.
Who are real experts, I guess, who
Real
are
experts.
really good in their
Absolutely.
niche. Yes.
But they don't know how to package up
Mm-hmm.
what they're talking about and making it available and digestible to
Yes.
the people that they're trying to reach. So one of the things is, of course, public speaking is fantastic. I don't think there's anything greater than having the microphone and the attention of people. All right. I know there's other things that have more spread, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can get on a webinar or something like that, and I can have thousands of people on there. But to have 500 people in a room and they can't get out unless they have to pee really bad, then you've really got their attention, right?
Yes.
So I love public speaking for that. That's one way that you can make more sales and make more money. Of course, you have to have an offer. Then from there, teaching and training courses. All right, creating your own course, of course, is a great way to monetize what you know. Coaching is an even easier way than creating a course. I know a lot of people that say, "Well, I want to create a course." I'm like, "Well, but I need money right now." It's like, well, if you need money right now, why don't you just coach? Yeah, that's the easiest way to make some money. If you know somebody that's got a problem, you can help them get through that problem. You get on a call with them or a Zoom
Yes.
call, and you can coach them. And you don't need a product to do that. You're just selling your time for dollars. That's the problem with that. I don't want to say it's bad, but when you're selling your time for dollars, you can only sell so much time. You only got
Yes.
so many hours in a day, right? So there's a limitation to how much coaching you can do, but coaching is very easy to get started. Then you have
Yes.
membership sites, okay? Membership sites can be very high end. Usually a membership site is a little bit lower on the money making pole as versus teaching a course. So I might pay for your course and then I might pay for the membership. Usually the membership is a lower price than the course itself is, or it's an add-on bonus.
Yes.
Masterminds, all right? Masterminds are basically group coaching that you have interaction with a group of people, and then they interact with each other, and you facilitate that interaction to bring forward thinking and educational content that you wouldn't even do by yourself. Just what
Yes.
you and I are doing right now, when we're talking one-to-one, there's actually a third mind that's there. And if we're interacting one on the other, and we're steel sharpening steel on ideas, we'll make our ideas better. That's a mastermind. All right. Doing your own live events. You know something and you can bring people together in a room after COVID's done, of course.
Yes. Or do it online.
Or you could do it online. Thank you. You know, and so that's a live event. You can charge for that. Challenges. I see people doing these challenges all the time now. Challenges are a hot thing. And usually that's extracting something from your training class and teaching it over 3, 5, 7 days, 2 weeks. I've seen them done for a whole month. Some people do them for free. I say make people pay something for it. That way they become a little bit more committed. There again,
Yes.
becomes a way to get you some income. And finally, the old school way, write a book. Write a book.
Your book, Kick-Ass, right?
Kickass Social Commerce. That's my book. Boom. There it goes.
Very good. I will include the link into the show notes,
Do that.
so that people
That'd be
so
awesome.
that people can find your book. So you already mentioned COVID, so Corona. I mean, what we talked about, all these products and these ways how to monetize your knowledge. I mean, this is now the time. If you're not still in there, I mean, maybe it's already too late, but you should think about how to monetize your knowledge in the digital world. That's very important. And so my question to you is, how did COVID-19 affected your business? So what happened in the last year? And
I
this
mean,
year, sorry, in a last
this
couple of
year,
months.
yeah. You know, I had my entire calendar of live events just wiped out in a 2-week period. You know,
Whoa.
there was South by Southwest, and I started watching that starting to unravel. And they were like, maybe we're going to do it, maybe not. And then they finally pulled the plug. And they said, we're not doing South by Southwest. And the entire speaking universe stopped that day. Literally, everything, it was a domino effect. Once South by Southwest was canceled, everybody else canceled or postponed. And then most of the people just said, well, we're going to postpone. We're going to postpone to like August, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then
for
we're
sure.
in there, right, you know, and somewhere in there, probably around June, everybody's like, this is not going to happen. So in between June, July, they tried to push, some of them tried to push to September. Other ones are just like, we're canceling. We're not going to have this.
So just a second. I'm just curious. What was this psychological effect in your mind? So what was your thought about this whole thing?
Oh, how many can I curse?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we're fucked.
Okay, that was the first reaction, and then?
Yeah, that definitely was my first reaction. But I mean, I had already been studying the disease when it was just in China. I was just interested in it because I do have an e-commerce business, and so I'd already recognized that that was hitting China just before Chinese New Year's. And Chinese New Year's always shuts down everything for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, I need to get my orders in. So I was taking different, you know, I was taking it very seriously. And when it looked like it was getting outside of China, I was like, okay, it's coming to America. So, I mean, I was prepared for that in terms of psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened so fast that nobody could really, I could just totally, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I mean, um, I knew that there was going to be a good shift to online. You know, who knew that it was going to be Zoom? That was the winner here. You know, there were a couple of other platforms
Yes.
that could have been the winner, or definitely were players in that. But Zoom just took off, man. You know, Skype's been here forever, and they didn't do what they needed to do to position themselves as the answer. You know,
Yes.
um, so it was for me, honestly, it was a relief because
Really? Okay. Interesting.
yeah, because there were projects when I talk about the coaching, the teaching, the training, the memberships, the live event, all of that. I've been wanting to do certain things, and I just didn't have the bandwidth because I'm getting on a plane every 2 weeks, you
Yes.
know, and flying somewhere. and I would just never finish some of the projects that were, passion projects for me. So
because
there
they
was
because
some
they because they were not on priority, but through this necessity, it
right.
became it became priority.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
cool.
It was very cool. So here we are today doing this on a
We
Zoom
did
call.
it. We did it. Yeah.
I would have never met you if it wasn't for Zoom.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
That's
that's the thing.
yeah.
That there's the after effects of us being able to get used to doing business without physically being there is a huge transformation
Hmm.
in business world. I don't think
Yes.
people understand what business is going to be like after this. Everything has changed. People are way more comfortable doing virtual stuff. It's not like
Hmm.
we won't go back, but
No.
we will just be going back. We'll go forward, bringing some of the stuff from the past with us.
Yes. That's exactly. So I think it's a great time. So if you see the opportunities and if you are fine to learn digital skills, it's a great time. So if you are okay to learn new things, then I think we are just in a great transformation. I mean, sure, there are many bad things also happening, but I'm also always the optimist, so I see the good things always. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, look, some of the most successful businesses were created in the most troubled times.
Yes,
So even the
exactly.
things that we talk about and we use today, like Uber, Stripe, what's the other one I'm thinking about? Airbnb. All of that was created during the last Great Recession. You know, so this time there's going to be such opportunity. There's always opportunity in changing times.
Yes, exactly. Okay, let's so our topic was social selling.
Yeah, I know, I know.
So one thing um, is so many people they invest time on social media, for example on LinkedIn, and but oftentimes, so sometimes I also have this speaking with the wrong people. So people who are time consuming and who don't convert. And so how do you make sure that you really get in touch, get in conversation with your target audience? Do you have a structure or a strategy for this?
Um, I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't have like this like cookie cutter strategy, but we can give you some strategy based on an example. Okay. For the first thing that people have got to stop doing is they got to stop trying to be everywhere at once. All right. So I
Okay.
know people, it's like, oh, I was like, well, how many people do you have on Facebook? And oh, I got a Facebook page. It's got 500 people. And then I'm like, well, how many of those people have bought from me? And they're like, none. And then they're like, well, so I really am going to try to build my Pinterest. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, I need to do Pinterest and I need to do LinkedIn, and that's going to multiplication by zero
Uh,
equals zero. If your strategy is not working on one platform, I highly doubt it's going to work on any other platform.
okay,
All
that's a good
right.
point. Yes.
Absolutely. And there's so many, see, there's so much out here, shiny objects out here that people feel like if they just make it on multiple places, they're going to get sales.
Hmm.
Instead of focusing in on one strategy, on
Hmm.
one marketplace, there's no reason that you can be on, Instagram with 300 million people, that log into that thing every 5 minutes. I don't know what the number is. I'm pulling a number, right? And then you're
Very
like,
high.
right, it's very high. Have you exhausted Instagram that you now need to go to Pinterest? Probably not, So and I think with social, you want to go deep more so than wide.
Hmm.
There are people that are huge on YouTube. You don't see them on Facebook that much. They might repurpose content over there, but they're
Yes.
not trying to grow Facebook. They're trying to grow YouTube audience. They got that. They know that. So that's one thing you want to do, which will stop you from speaking to people like we're talking about that don't matter. The other thing you have to know is who you need to speak to. All right. You have to have that avatar totally down. And once you have that average, so many people, too many people that I meet, I'll say, well, who's this for? Oh, it's for everybody. Oh, okay.
That's
It's for
that's often
everyone.
that's all that's oftentimes a good indicator that you didn't really sold anything in the past. That's
Well,
that's my personal opinion.
that'll tell me that you haven't.
Yeah.
You haven't been successful with selling. Well, it's for everybody. The problem is when you make something for everybody, nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
That's
whole
true.
thing. You know, I don't want something that's for everybody. I'm looking for something that's for me. That's the environment we're in. We're in an environment where people want a personalized solution. And you have to be able to nail down your avatar to the point where you are saying yes to your avatar and you're totally unattractive to the people who are not your avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is somebody's got a $10,000 solution, right? I'm just working with the coaching client the other day. She's got a $10,000 solution. That's who she wants to sell it to. That's the price tag. So I'm like, who's it for? Everyone. Well, let me tell you, sister, everyone don't have $10,000 to spend on that shit. Okay? So we want to make sure that what we're offering here will make the people that are, $1,000 people go away.
Yes.
Right? So she's like, well, the first thing we're going to do is here's my funnel. She's giving me a funnel, and the top thing is $97. I'm like, I get it. I know you've taken one of those expert courses and they told you to start low and move it up, but why start there? Let's just get to the $10,000 people and stop trying to nurture these $97 people. Those $97 people, you might find one out of 1,000 that'll pay you that 10 grand.
Yes.
How about if we just focus in on that real avatar and all the other ones we push away with our content? See, the way you write your content is going to be totally different for an audience that has that kind of money or is interested in that kind of solution and can see that value. So that's one of the things we have to start doing is that you find them. Now, after you find them, and it's easy to find them once you know where they are. I mean, once you know who they are, then you can find where they are. Once you do that, the key is not the content. So you've already got your content, you've already got your consumer. The other C is what most people are missing, and that is context. You have to talk to me at the right time when I have that need for me to pull that money out of my pocket. And that's what you have to build. You have to build context so that when you present the content to the consumer, they will take action. So those are the three things you have to need. Know who you're talking to, that consumer. Know where they are. That's what we talked about. And then and know where they are and the content you're going to put in front of them. And then make sure you're putting in front of them at the right time. Content.
So when it comes to context, so would that mean that I, for example, know what their struggle is and give a solution, a quick win, so that they can create a quick win for in their business life or whatever I want to help with? Would that okay?
That could be, but it doesn't have to be. No, you just have to be able to. The main thing is you've got to find out what their problem is, and then you've got to go and find a stick and stick it in their wound and then move it around like this. That's really what it's about. You got to make them understand that you know exactly what their pain is. Once I know you know what my pain is and you're feeling me, it's like, oh, I feel you. I know exactly, because maybe Sister Sue went through that too. And I remember when her was in that predicament, and look where she is today. When I'm able to do that, then you're going to be asking me, how can you help me? I don't have to sell you. And that's where you want to be. You don't need to sell people on your solution. You just got to make sure that they understand that you understand their need and you have what it is that will cure their concern.
Yeah.
That's the key. I know it sounds easy, and it is, but I think we approach it totally wrong. So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. You see this all the time. You ever buy something online, right? And
Yes.
in the midst of after purchasing, they say, wait, stop. One more thing. Here's how, let's say you bought, how to do SEO. And they say, wait, here's an offer for you. I will show you not just how to do it, but we have a template that will do it all for you. Now, if I started the conversation with, hey, I've got an SEO template, and that's usually an upsell, right? If I start the conversation with, I've got an SEO template, you're not going to buy it, because you're really not interested. But once I've got you interested in getting your site's SEO fixed, then you know that that person is probably primed to getting a template for it. The template offer doesn't even work without you first purchasing the training on how to do SEO. That is context. That's the right time to make that offer.
Yes. No, I'm just thinking
Yeah,
about.
I know you're thinking about it. That's the psychology of the whole thing. You've already said yes to this. And the next thing I'm going to offer you is how to make it easier and faster.
So yeah, exactly. Because I participated at a Facebook ads online course, group coaching, and I always got this offer. Well, you can do it yourself, but we can help you also. It's a full service. And if you want more information, go to this link. So it was basically an upsell, like you explained. Okay, that's cool. So it's just thinking, what is the first step that I can bring to my customer, and what's the second step? And that's the next offer, so to say, right?
What did I say the next offer was? 2 words: easier and faster. Easier and faster. If I can offer them something that will get them that same result that they just bought, make it easier and faster. All right.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And if it's in food, it's it's McDonald's.
More,
it's the
more tasty, more bigger.
It's like an extra burger on top. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like McDonald's?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. That's not my thing. Not McDonald's. I like other things.
Okay.
But I love the business model.
Which one the most?
I'm saying McDonald's business model.
McDonald's business model. Okay.
It's an amazing business model.
Mm-hmm.
They have done things that seem to be impossible. I remember the first time they offered coffee, and I was like, "What? Are you crazy? Are y'all thinking y'all are going to take on, Starbucks? Give me a break." And they did. They did. People go to McDonald's for specialized coffee. Who?
Yes.
I don't know. But it definitely, so I like what McDonald's does. But anyway, that's another level.
Cool. So we spoke a little bit, I mentioned advertisement. So this is also a big topic, because so many people create organic posts, organic content. So what do you think about Facebook ads, or now it's becoming bigger on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, or old-fashioned Google advertisement? So what are your thoughts about advertisement? And yeah, do you have lessons that you can share with us?
Absolutely, man. Organic's great.
Yeah.
But having paid is way better. And I mean, I'll go to social media events and I'll get on stage and say paid ads are way better than organic, and people go,
how can you say this?
Yes, I do that just for that reaction, because I can't take an organic campaign and make it go fast. I can't blow up an organic campaign. It's impossible. Once something's moving organically, it's very hard for me to make it move faster. But when I have a paid ad that's working, all I got to do is throw more money at it. And all of a sudden, sales are coming in. Sales are coming in. Every time I run that ad, I get more sales. It's hard to do that with an organic campaign. Not to say that an organic campaign is not valuable. It is valuable. But when you find an organic that works, put some money behind it and turn it into a paid campaign. It's just so easy in terms of the methodology here to understand why paid advertising is something you need to learn. It's something you need to learn, but it's going to take money to put it. You're going to have to spend money to get good results. And the problem is most people stop paid ads too soon to get any results. They give up too fast. They went into it with an idea that they were going to spend $50. That's not enough for you to find a winning ad, right? Yeah. And I know people that'll like, I'm spending, because somebody told them, you just need to spend $10 a day and you'll find a winner. Dude, seriously? No, you won't. You got 13 people. I had a coaching call the other day. She's like, I've done this and I've done this and I got 3 ads and I found a winner. I was like, really? So how many sales you get on the winning ad? She said 13. I'm like, okay, and how much were the other ones? 8. I'm like, okay, so you've had 20 sales and you think that one ad is the better ad. I'm like, you don't have enough data to make that determination. You got to soak it a little bit longer, right? So people give up too fast, and a lot of times they don't have enough money or they haven't put enough traffic in to get good results to make a determination on where they're going to go. All right. The other thing is each platform, in my opinion, and from what I've learned, needs different creatives. All right. Even though, like you said, LinkedIn kind of similar to Facebook, but the creatives that when I've taken one creative that's working here, put it over there, it does not perform as well. So you've got to know your platform, right? And again, if you're not exhausting the world of Facebook ads, you don't need to be worried about YouTube, Google, and the other thing. Learn Facebook. When you've exhausted all the money you can spend, I know people right now, seriously, man, dude does 30,000 ads a day, easy, right? I'm sorry, 30,000 in ads per day. That's how big the apple can get. Wow. So when you're sitting there taking, a little bite off the apple, like, oh, well, I'm successful here. I just sold $1,000 this month. Let me go over to no, bro, there's so much levels to this. So you don't have to do that. Become an expert somewhere, man. Let me see, I'm looking over here. I said, oh, this is a good saying, right? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Another client working with her, she's like, these are not all the same clients. I don't want y'all to think I'm talking bad about nobody, but it's very common. So she's like, well, I'm pre-revenue. I was like, okay, you're pre-revenue, great. And we're running ads. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You're running ads for what? So we're trying to build a list. Who in the hell told you that was a good? I was just like, really? You're going to pay $500, $1,000 just to buy a list? It just made no sense because the list hasn't been tested. You don't know if those people are going to buy from you. You never making an offer. It didn't make any sense, right? So the thing is, your advertising has to be a winning advertising campaign. For every dollar you spend, you should make $1.
The return on investment must be clear.
Yeah, it must be at least 0.
Yeah.
It must be even. That's when you're winning. You can get an ads campaign to even, you have already won the game. Let me say that again. If you can get an ads campaign to 0, the money you put in is the money you get out of it, you're already winning. because once you're there, you can buy as big an audience as you want and then
Yes.
upsell them from there.
Can scale it. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
So are you focused mainly on Facebook, or do you also run ads on LinkedIn?
I tried LinkedIn. I didn't like it. All
Okay.
right. Because it just didn't perform that well. I spent hundreds of dollars for nothing. Right. And I'm like, you know what? I'll circle back on that.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, I do like YouTube. So that's my secondary kind of channel for now. But no, I am very focused right now on Facebook and very
Okay.
happy with that.
Yeah, it makes sense when it comes to the audience. I mean, LinkedIn is more focused B2B.
B2B.
Yeah,
That's
B2B business.
That's right.
Yes.
You know,
Cool.
and I mean, it's just a different animal. It's a different beat. The way the platform works in terms of advertising, it's similar, but it's not the same. You
Yeah.
know, it's like for Facebook, for me, it's the analytics on the back end that they give me that allow me to really, really hone in on the audience and hone in on the profitability. And I wasn't able to get that much from LinkedIn. LinkedIn's still young. That gives it a lot of opportunity. If you can
Yes.
get something working on LinkedIn, then it's not noisy. You know, it's not as noisy. So don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with LinkedIn. I'm the failure here.
No, failure is so hard.
Oh, I don't mind failing. I don't mind. You know what? This is another thing, guys. It's like I was talking to my nephew, and he wants to do T-shirts. So he went out and bought a T-shirt press. Instead, first I introduced him to print on demand, and he went out and got his own printer. And you know, I was talking to his mother. I'm like, you know what? It's so good that he's out there doing it. She's like, well, what if he fails and lose all that money? I'm like, that's even better, right? Because now you get over it. I have never met a highly successful entrepreneur that didn't fail at something. Failure is part of the game.
Yeah, what I meant is failing is fine, but seeing myself as a failure is not the right approach. I think that.
Don't take that as a label. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a difference. That's a fine difference, but an important one.
No, it's huge.
Yes.
Yes, that's huge, man.
So, I'm just curious, when it comes to Facebook advertising, so you are not separating between organic and paid content. So you're taking good organic content that you have, so you're not creating extra content for your advertisement, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I make ads that are just ads. What I was really saying is that organic can be a good place to test your ad, honestly. All right. So I can do something organically, see if it's going to get people's attention, right? Does this image get people's attention more than that image? Let's see that right now. I can do that organically to get a small, simple, idea of what's going to work on the larger scale. So that's something good. But if I do something that's organic, right, I might put something up and teach something and say, oh, here's something I found real quick. And all of a sudden it's getting shared and people are starting to like it. I can throw that into an ad and make an offer at the end. And then that becomes a winning campaign as well. So that's kind of what I mean. You can use these two different mediums to help make what you're paying better.
And when it comes to formatting, are you focused more on single image ads or on video ads? Is there something?
Video.
No video?
All
video.
video.
All video. Okay.
All video. Even if it's static, I still make it a video.
Okay. That's
okay.
Cool.
Even if it's static, I still make it into a video.
Okay. It's like a DR show. You're making it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Because moving pictures are better than static pictures. It's just the way we are as humans.
Yes.
It's just the way we are as humans. And you figure like this, everything else is kind of, moving. So that's just we've been trained.
Okay, cool. I will check your ads on Facebook.
Well, I don't run that many for me.
Oh, okay.
I run most of them, but yeah.
But do you outsource things like this? So are you your video advertisements?
Oh yeah, I've got a team.
Okay, cool.
I've got a team. But I mean, there's nothing that I didn't start doing myself and then hire people to do my videos, my ads, my way.
Hmm.
So
That's cool. So what trends do you see when it comes to social selling?
Can I say one thing? All right.
Yeah, for sure.
I am not an ads expert.
Yeah.
Most of us are not ad experts. When you want to get really serious and serious money, get with ad experts. Because
Yes, exactly.
every time, man, they take what I'm doing to the next level. So, you know, you can make a lot of money and do a lot of great things. You know, me and you just doing it ourselves. But once you're in that mode and you can afford to hire an expert, give them a shot because they can do good things. A good expert.
Yes, that's right. They're worth the money.
Yep.
Cool. So when it comes to social selling, what trends do you see?
You know, social in and of selling on social, believe it or not, is still in its infancy. Okay, it's still a baby. There's a lot of opportunity, and usually you're coming to the market with something that's very unique. So it's wide open. There is a new disruptor coming. I don't know who that's going to be, but there is going to be something that dwarfs Facebook. And I feel like it's coming, right?
TikTok.
Possibly. I don't know if TikTok has actually proven that it can sell like Facebook. I mean, Facebook sells, right? Instagram. And don't get it twisted. When we talk about Facebook, we're talking about Facebook and Instagram together, right? So I mean, that thing just sells like crazy. TikTok, fantastic. I haven't started building there, but I think you were talking about you building there, right?
Yes.
You've seen people build there. So, I mean, you can build audiences. Let me just put this up in front of you guys. Let me just tell you, my book right here, you can't see it, but it says it's not about likes. It's about sales. I don't care how many people like your damn TikTok video. If you ain't selling nothing, I'm not interested. You know, that's just not me. You know, I don't care that you got I got 30,000 people in a group. I don't give a shit. Are they buying?
Who cares?
Who cares? Right? That's when it comes to sales. So think about that. Instagram and Facebook are going to remove the likes soon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're all about likes, here we go. Go ahead.
Tough times. So I think you can't pay your pizza with likes. So, I mean, what sense does it make to think about follower and likes and stuff like that?
It's all hubris, you know, people's ego. I get it. I mean, I got an ego. I mean, I get it. But I mean, at some time, you got to make it pay, or you're just wasting your time growing your audience.
Yes. To some degree, you have to decide yourself, is it just a hobby, or do you want to make it serious as like an entrepreneur? Do you want to build a business, or is it just a hobby, which is fine, but you have to decide yourself at some point in your career.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm about social selling. So.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, you know, another thing that's happening too is you got to start building your tribe. So I get that. All right. But you want to, again, be attracting the right customer. Just like that lady, she's got all these other customers paying her $97, but wants to sell them 10,000. I'm like, you're building the wrong tribe. Right. So you got to understand that too, because privacy is the new social.
Mm-hmm.
Privacy is on a trend right now. And we're going to see more and more people looking for that closed off environment more so than just public environment. So build your tribe, build your community right now. Personalization, which we mentioned before, it's not, none of us do social in groups. That's what I was telling somebody. You know, it's like you're making content or you're talking to people and you be like, y'all and you guys and you folks, stop that shit. Talk to me. It's
To
all
one
personal.
person.
It's
Yes,
one person.
exactly.
Talk to one person. You get that, guys? See.
Yeah. That's also something that I teach when you make a video. Talk to
Yes.
talk to one person, or just take a picture and put it next to the laptop or the camera and talk to this person. So
One,
it becomes better.
exactly. It comes
Yes.
through. It comes through. And then nano influencers are huge. That's the new thing. All right. So we're going from the Kim Kardashians of the world
Mhm.
to the Johns of the world. That's what's the new thing, right? So get your influence together. It doesn't have to be a huge audience, but if they respond and they purchase, you've got something good. You don't
Yes.
have to have tens of thousands. If you just have the 1,000 followers, the 1,000.
That's already perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I see. I could talk and talk
No, I could
with
talk.
you.
Problem.
My final question. So, who would you recommend for my podcast?
Chris Green, my man,
Okay,
Chris Green. All right. Chris
cool.
Green is the merch master. You know, he knows how to do merch. You know what merch is, right?
No.
Okay, so merch would be more like print on demand. Okay, that's merch. So you merch t-shirts, merch books, mugs, mouse pads, all this stuff. He
Okay,
really is, and he's just he knows so much about everything. Great guy.
cool. Okay,
That's what I got for you.
would love to get an introduction.
Yes, I'm sure you want one.
So he's also producing content, or
Oh yeah, Chris has been at it a long time.
cool. Sounds
Long as
great.
he might actually start a couple years ago. So
Cool.
when he and I get together and just start, it blows my mind. There's only so many people in the world that you can sit down with, you know, and every time it really you walk away with value, and he's one of those people.
So it sounds really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, Chris Green. We'll do that. We'll do the intro.
that would be fantastic. So, is there something? My questions are all through.
Yeah,
Do you
you've
have something?
exhausted your question.
Sorry?
I said you've exhausted your question.
Yeah. Is there something that you want to share? Some statement or some point?
You know, here's my statement. Your job, if you choose to accept it, is to wake up every morning, go out, hunt, find something, kill it, drag it home, and feed your family. That's our jobs. That's our job. That's what we are here for. We have to feed our family. We have to go out. We have to hunt. That's what we do, you know? So stop waiting for opportunity. Opportunity's not coming. You have to go out and get it. And it's there for you. That's it. I
That's
guess.
great.
That's it.
Love it.
Okay. I'm
Thank you
sorry.
very much, really, John. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate your time. I think it was just a great interview.
Good. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Coming from you, that means a lot because you interview a lot of people.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I had a lot of fun, so I
Good.
hope you too. And looking forward to working with you again soon, hopefully.
Uh-huh. See, you're asking.
Yeah. That's the first
See,
step.
that's the first step. That's what I'm saying. You gotta ask. There you go. So
Nice.
that's you do the intro that way. Very good. Awesome. All right.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're
John.
welcome, man. Peace.